I read the article Thinking Positively, how some characteristics of ADHD can be adaptive and accepted in the classroom. The article discussed what ADHD is, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. It also discussed how this manifests itself in the difficulties in school, trouble creating and maintaining social relations, and low self-esteem. As an educator, this is really important to be aware of because students with ADHD will constantly be in our classrooms and we need to know how to best serve them. The article pinpointed to school and how our students may struggle to be goal-directed. They may struggle to plan and be organized with their assignments and their thinking, and their working memory might not be the best because they do often become distracted. And as a result of this, their fluency may also struggle. The article discussed that ADHD's characteristics can be broken down into two specific subtypes, which are the student can struggle predominantly with hyperactive and impulsive behaviors or inattentive behaviors. This isn't to say students can't struggle with a combination of both, but those are the two main subtopics that ADHD can express itself in. It's important to know these things, this article discussed, because attention problems can interfere with learning new tasks or even rehearsing tasks that we've already taught them, because it may be hard for the student to sustain their energy, and we just need to be aware of that. A big focus of the article was how we today in modern society view ADHD as a disorder, and the connotation behind the word disorder itself is just not a very positive one. And just how true that is, that the word disorder comes with this stigma of being a bad thing, and it just puts this target on our students' back and limits them already before we even acknowledge their potential strengths and gifts that they possess, because each student does possess these talents and strengths and gifts. Something I really enjoyed from the article was that it said that we could view ADHD as a disorder or perhaps as a trait. So our regular students are more like farmers. They think, they're proactive, they plan, they stick to schedules, but our ADHD students are more like hunters. They're aware of everything that surrounds them and they're ready to constantly change. It also talked about our ADHD students being polyactive, excellent brainstormers, eager to please, and energetic and creative. I loved this article. I just think that it pulled out so many truths that we often ignore, that it is important to focus on our students' positives and strengths. If you think about it, that's how it is with every student. It's just when we label a student with disorders, it may be harder to initially see their strengths and positive attributes that they bring to our classroom. This article also reminded me that doing one thing for one student to meet their need may help the whole class, like a universal design of learning. So what may be beneficial for my ADHD students can also help my other students. The article provided countless classroom connections, and I took each one and wrote it down and just tried to soak it all in because so much great advice was given. In my own personal classroom, I really loved the idea of just calling on students frequently with ADHD, keeping them engaged in the conversation, because that's what learning is all about, being engaged in their learning. Using visual cues to keep them engaged, providing immediate feedback, how important that is for all students, just so that they can know if they're on the right track or not. And especially for our ADHD students, that way they can help be directed in the ways in which they should go. One final thing that I really enjoyed from the article for my students is just to be specific, to give them planners, to give them every tool they need. Perhaps they won't need it. Maybe they'll overcome that trait or learn to self-regulate that aspect of their ADHD, but it can never hurt. So overall, I really enjoyed the article because every student is a gift from God and can be beneficial to my classroom if I view them in a positive light. And ADHD students truly could have a powerfully positive impact on my classroom if I want to.